All right, sixth graders, this is to help you with question 6 on CR10. It says Billings Elementary ordered 525 new pencils for the 7 fifth grade classes to share equally. If Mrs. Wright hands out all of her pencils to her students and they each get 3, how many students are in Miss Wright's class? Okay, whew. All right, so they have 525 new pencils. They're going to split them equally, share them equally between the 7 fifth grade classes. So the first thing I need to know is how many each fifth grade class has. Then we'll worry about Mrs. Wright's students and how many she has. So the first thing I'm figuring out is how many pencils each fifth grade class gets. I always like a tape diagram as a visual. So I have a total of 525 new pencils. So the entire rectangle represents that. We're going to split them equally between 7 classes. That means within this big rectangle, I'm going to put 7 individual boxes because we want to share those pencils equally between 7 classes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These should all really be equal rectangles here. I'm just not great at drawing the individual boxes. So now I have 7 classes that I'm dividing this 525 pencils between. And let's say this is Mrs. Wright's class. All right? That's Mrs. Wright's class. And we're going to figure out how many pencils her class gets. So that just means I take 525 and divide it by 7 to figure out what each individual class, how many pencils each individual class will get. 7 goes into 52. 7 times 7 is 49, so 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract off. 52 minus 49 is 3. You could show that by borrowing from the 5, making that a 4, making this a 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. Drag down that 5. 7 goes into 35 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. So each individual class gets 75 pencils. So Mrs. Wright's class has 75 pencils to share. So if Mrs. Wright hands out all of her pencils, she's handing out all 75 to her students, and each student gets 3 pencils. How many students are in her class? So now, you have 75 total pencils she's handing out. You don't know how many individual boxes there are. You don't know. I'm not sure. But I can tell you each little box represents a student. I don't know how many students there are. That's the thing we're trying to figure out. But there's each student gets 3 pencils. So each of these kids is going to get 3 pencils. We got to figure out how many boxes will get us up to the 75 pencils. Well, if you take 75 divided by each student is getting 3 pencils, I'll be able to tell you how many boxes we'd have to draw in here. 3 goes into 7 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract off. Drag down that 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. That means I need 25 boxes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I need 25 boxes. I'm not going to draw them all out. But it would mean there would be 25 boxes. And each box has 3 pencils. Each box represents a student, and then we're up to our 75 pencils. So she must have 25 students in her class. I hope that helps.